Sup shitters, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to NSP Reviews, where today I'll be checking out some tracks from an acts named Olivier Olier off of their album Départ. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a YouTube video on the screen. We're going to be checking out 3 tracks off of this, starting with Ensemble. And yeah, we're going to hear what we think. Let's go, starting with Ensemble. Apparently, the Olivier employs like a minimalist kind of style to his work, which is fantastic. Type of classical composition, which is great. I actually kind of really enjoy it. Just got a string quartet with the piano here, with a really subtle piano motif here, with the strings being supportive in that low end. A little bit more development up the top. Great. Great sense of emotional weight to this, with the harmonies on those violins. Oh, nice work with the plucks. Oh, interesting use of those extensions there. Ah, so those modulations are those chord progressions? I think we are modulating the arpeggios we're doing there to the modes. It's wonderfully mixed, by the way. I'm really enjoying the way those violins are leveled there. I'm returning back to that original section there. You know, when you look at the imagery of like the trams and everything like that, it kind of does sound like you're going on a journey, right? Ensemble. I like the legato feel of those strings on the left side and the more active piano right hand on the other. And there's more of a freeform kind of tempo to this. A lot of the music I listen to is really kind of pedantic about the tempo they play at, but what I like about the stuff, it's more loose with it. It feels more human because of that, you know? There's quote-unquote feel to it. That's the beauty of not needing to play alongside a percussionist or something like that. You can be a little bit more you know, inspired in that sense. That little kind of glissando run or something like that, it's wonderful. It's gone to black now. Oh, cool. I totally thought it was just going to be black screen for the rest of the video. You know, not that wouldn't have been an interesting artistic decision, but... nice how things have come down with the higher strings there. I think that's the first time you've had the higher strings on that part there, which is kind of beautiful. Oh, and finishing on that low piano note as well. See, part of what I like about minimalism is that you literally are just playing the notes that need to be played. Sure, you're having interesting chord progressions and you can have those choices there, but it's not about flourishing how tremendously you can play or whatever. It's more about using the fundamental components to get something that is passable, or in this case, absolutely wonderful. I love the way this was composed and performed. It's great and not on their place, but you aren't getting overwhelmed by it. There's no filler or anything like that, you know? So that's a great start to this album review, for sure. But yeah, fantastic introduction to it. It's a very peaceful way to start an album. The modulations, da 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 da, maybe exploring some sevenths or ninths or something like that. That was kind of added a little bit of sort of quirkiness to it, as if we weren't sure about the journey we were going on, if there's a little bit of doubt about the next step to take. But then we went back to those majorish kind of tonalities there in the section after that. We finished on a note where it kind of sounded like we got to the end in a safe way. And then for track number 2 that we're reviewing today is Lao Ellos with Anastasia Voronova. Oh, instantly that minor. That is a fantastic chord progression. It takes you on a journey without needing anything more than that. And those like cellos down the low end, the buzz of that is absolutely fantastic. Countering in the stereo field, countering the cello with the higher piano notes. Got some harmonic or melodic minors going on here, which is kind of really intriguing. Oh, and swimming up to the major shift. Okay, cool. Oh, wonderful. I was wondering if we were going to go in a trepidation immediately. Yeah, sensational. This is the beauty of instrumental music. You can go on a journey with this where you don't need words. You can just kind of use your imagination to think about what it could be about. I love instrumental music for this. When it's done well, it's just as effective, if not even more so, you know. Okay, development of the motif. Some eighth notes there. Back and forth bows, you know. Very somber, like bring down that mood again, return to that original progression there. Some mid-range on the other side though. We really know how to instantiate a concept and move it up and bring it up without overplaying it. It's a fantastic performance by the ballerina. I just don't know enough about ballet to really comment on it, you know? Are we going to commit to a major, or are we going to leave it uncertain? Oh no, we're going back down again. Oh, we do not want to commit either way. We do not want to commit either way. Oh no. I kind of like that. We're not just letting it finish on a happy note. We're like, no, there must be more of the sadness and the drama, though. We cannot just have things be cheery and positive. I mean, even the previous track finishing on like just like one low note on like the C1 or something like that was, you know, a bold move. Wow. That was tremendous. I enjoyed that performance. I'm less sure about what that one is about. La Oeilleuse. I'm gonna like Google what that means. My French is very rusty. So La Oeilleuse means there or elsewhere. So I'm assuming it means like, because it's kind of like Middle Eastern Arabic kind of tonalities there with the harmonies. We had the melodic or harmonic minors. I'm wondering if it's a journey about travel, like being there or here. It's like a kind of an ultimatum. Like there's the there, which is maybe the happy majorish part there, which had the uncertainty. And then the elsewhere is like the part where it got kind of dark. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a longing for being somewhere else. It's an interesting one. It's open to interpretation. You know, have fun with it. And then we have track number 3 that we're reviewing today from Olivier Olier, titled Minmage with Kira Lebedeva. Lebedeva. It's a fun word to say. With all due respect, of course. You know. Oh. We got some octaves or some flats. Some flat seconds going on. Flat ninths, maybe. I don't know. It's not pleasant. It's very tense. Again, great dynamic range to the recording there. We wanted to commit to a major with the strings, but the piano is just rustling around in some parallel minors. It's kind of unsettling, you know? A flutter with the strings. Okay, nice unison there with the strings on the side, with a more kind of palatable, gentle nature with the piano there. Obviously going between obviously we got ourselves a really capable composer here. I think the thing you want to do when you listen to music like this is like look away from the video you're watching, you know. Look away from the video you're watching and kind of try and understand, like imagine what it could be like without looking at the video. So if I close my eyes a little bit, it sounds like sadness, like trepidation, like we're going to be departing somewhere, you know. You know that like could be like traveling to like outer space or something like that. I'm not making this up for the sake of S and G's. It's me like imagining what it could be like in my subjective interpretation of it. We got more further modulations of some of those melodies, with occasional shifts in like some of the lower notes. Going up the octave there, that makes sense there. Interesting flowers in the video, the little ones curled over at the bottom. Yeah, like we're almost at a point now where like I am kind of familiar with what we're going to go with the way that we're writing the songs. I can see consistencies. We love sort of screwing with the listeners' expectations and introducing notes or chords that are like, oh, actually, wait, what? Why is this here? We thought we were happy for a bit, but then suddenly, boom. And that is a way of adding tension, of course, you know, is to kind of subvert the listeners' expectations, but still. And it is a satisfying chord progression primarily because it is more predictable. You know, you go with this kind of unsettling kind of da 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 da, and then you go into this part, which is more sort of typical to a lot of music from a lot of other genres of music. Yeah. I'm gonna have to Google what min-maj means. Minor major? Is that just minor major? It might be. Oh, I'll Google it. I'll do some Googling. Oh. Oh. Oh, that is such a difference in those notes there. Opposite ends of the piano, man. An 8 octave? Probably working with a grand. That'd be dope. I would love to have like a baby grand or like a mini grand. That'd be so sick, dude. I wouldn't have a full grand. You have to smash out a wall in your house to be able to get one of those in, but you know, you need to have like 8 people to lift the damn thing. But yeah. Wonderful. Really enjoyed that. And this is the conclusion of my review of 3 tracks off of Départ by Olivier Olier, Ensemble, REVIEWS, and min-maj. What do I think this album is about? I do think this is about different concepts that Olivier Olier wanted to explore, put into a musical format. It's a tale as old as time, but I think that Olivier does this incredibly well. Obviously, there's no vocals to tell you the story, and I honestly don't think that was a crutch in this specific situation here, because we've got someone here who can not only tell a story from a sort of a musical motif perspective, but can also just compose well. And I'm not saying to be nice just for the sake of being nice. I mean it genuinely. It's a situation here where with these 10 tracks, I've heard these first 3, and I think the rest of the 7 would be great just because of that. They each had different themes. I feel as though, you know, I'm not entirely sure about what any of them is. Min-maj, I just think there was a great sense of tension, like an unease or an uncertainty within that one thematically. Maybe it was contrasting different bits, like there's a little bit of doubt in that, you know, but then we go bang at the end with those like those ninths, so flat seconds, and it's just very, very tense and uncomfortable. And we have these kind of sad chord progressions in another part of the song, which sound as if they should be major, but they're simply because they're the majorest thing we've had yet. I can see here I've got composition Olivier Olier, arrangements Olivier Olier and Jessica Townsend, piano Olivier Olier, violins Jessica Townsend, so cello as well, violoncelle is Tom McCluskey. And dude, they smashed it out of the park. Congratulations to everyone who worked on this. The performances were sensational. There was a lot of diversity with the way that the instruments were played here, but I suppose to do it kind of in more of a format I would do for the conclusions, it's a case where I think structurally at 3 to 5 minutes, if you don't have enough interest in the motif, or if you haven't put enough effort into developing that, it's going to be a really long 4 to 5 minutes, especially without vocals. And we didn't have the situation here. We had very simple and entrances either by the piano or the string section or both. We literally just let them kind of sync up to each other, get comfortable, and then bam, we'll choose a different note, or damn, we'll go into a new section, and then we'll come back with the old one as per a lot of kind of ABA structure and like classical music, establishing a theme, doing something different, coming back to it, modulating it, etc. It was like we had verse chorus structures without there being verses and choruses spoken or sung, which I appreciate. But there were little developments, a little bit of added interest there to kind of bring us up there. Lots of dynamic range within those performances there, so the energy levels changed throughout. There were different sort of like musical sentences spoken in each part there to sort of easily instantiate them and help you to figure out what was going on there. There was no confusion about the direction we were going in with this. We gave a clear personality to each track at the first 30 seconds or so, and we let that just kind of simmer for the rest. So you didn't kind of get sort of confused by anything like that. It was great. I think it's really beautiful music. And again, while I'm not sure what these tracks are about exactly, I had my thoughts on them personally song, and I think that I'm happy with how the instruments made that story feel. There was obviously a clear understanding of music theory and composition on behalf of, Olivier Olier with the compositions and arrangements and everything like that, which is Townsend and Tom McCluskey coming in clutch with those musical performances there. There's not a note out of place. And ultimately, I just think that this would be stuff I'd like to hear outside of these reviews. I think it was very peaceful sounding, and even though there were some uncomfortable notes or weird sort of transitions there, it's not weird as in it's bad. It's just sort of tonally uncomfortable, but that was the deliberate thing because that's the only thing you have there. There's no accidents here. These are all clear, stylistic, compositional decisions that were made here, and I have a lot of respect for that. I'm thankful to be listening to a really, really solid classical sort of piece of instrumentation here. It's wonderful. The recording, mixing, and mastering, the production in general was fantastic. To be able to capture the nuances of these instruments, the tones of them, to be able to capture the sub layers of the various sort of extensions there, or the little layers, or the panning of the little strings on the sides, the high ones, get the rumble and the buzz of that like cello in the low end, the piano kind of dancing around in a nice balance between the high and low ends of the piano and the 8-octave spectrum is difficult, but they managed to nail it here. And I think that there's very little they could have done to improve it. The piano was nicely filled and EQ'd, a little bit of compression on that, but not too much. It was more live, more raw than anything else. String sections, it was fantastic as well. Nice notching of the instruments in the various points of perspective there. And honestly, like, they just smashed it. Really great attention to where the panning of things needed to be done. Shout out to battery sur Envy de Violences. So there's also other instruments like the drums for Envy de Violences, Matt Brown. Piano additional sur Envy de Violences, Mina Jackson. With English sur un chemin, Angela Schleihauf. And then the mixer was Matt Brown, and the mastering was Pete Maher from Top Floor Productions Limited. So yeah, there was a team behind this, and they absolutely smashed it out of the park. I just wanted to give everyone else a bit of a buzz there. But ultimately, dude, go show some support to Olivier Olier and everyone else involved in this, because they smashed it out of the park. The leveling of the instruments was great. Nice one in the stereo field with different instruments popping up here and there just to kind of show their face and add presence and add tension, or add a bit of happiness there in those major sections. And it was nice and loud without pumping. And effectively, this is my review of Départ by Olivier Olier. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show some love to these musicians, either various social medias, your YouTube, and their Bandcamp. And stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spider hands up.